Hey, what's up everybody? It's Danny here with another very exciting tutorial on After Effects. And what we're going to be looking at today is this animation of the main content lion head. There's a couple things going on here. There's obviously the lion in the middle. There's the MGM style ribbon border going on and the text that flies in. What I would like to focus on today is just the lion head and how to get that to move, primarily using the puppet animation tool inside After Effects. So we're just gonna get going on this. I'm just gonna start straight from scratch, make a new comp. So there's our logo, and obviously our logo is the half lion head with the Michigan in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pre-comp this. I'm gonna duplicate it, Control D, and I'm gonna go over to Layer, Transform, Flip Horizontally. And that way we can match this up, have it be nice and symmetrical. You can also see that in the original animation, there's a mouth. We need to make a mouth for the lion, for him to roar. So what we're gonna do is make that mouth. We're gonna draw it. I like to put on the grid. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take the pen tool and we're gonna start drawing. So in my original one, it's just, you got a little cat cleft lip thing going on, swoops down, swoops under, swoops back. It's just one shape layer. There's our mouth. I also want to separate the eyes and the nose, make those different layers because I'm going to animate those separately. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to pre-compose this, so this is one layer, and then I'm going to duplicate it. This one is going to be the eyes, and we are going to draw a mask around the eyes. So if we punch out the bottom layer, you can see those are just the eyes. And then we are going to duplicate this layer again. And this one is going to be the nose. And we're going to do the same thing, draw a mask around that. So there's the nose. All right, so now that this is all set up, we have the mouth layer, we have mouth layer, the eyes layer, the nose layer, and the mane. So what I like to do when animating a face like this is to just start with the eyes, and everything else is gonna follow wherever those look. Because if you think about it, when your eyes move, the rest of your face kind of follows with it. So what I did in the original animation was he's blinking and he kind of looks up and around, and he squints when he's roaring. So I'm gonna just have him blink a couple times and look around. To have him blink, I just animated the scale of it, just the horizontal scale. So what I'm going to do is select just the eye layer, and we're going to hit S for scale, and we're going to animate forward a little bit in time. Have the eyes, actually first put the anchor point right in the middle. And we're going to have them squint down. So that's him blinking. forward again. Copy this. So I'm making these bad boys blink. So I'm gonna also apply a easy ease to these two keyframes so it's a little bit more natural. Make that a little bit quicker. Blinks are quick, right? Right there. Okay. So that's an easy blink. And we can reuse these keyframes down the line when he blinks some more. So from here, I am going to get this guy all situated for the puppet tool. So I'm gonna go over here to this little, looks like a thumbtack. This is the puppet tool. Click that. So the puppet tool, you basically throw a couple pins in your object, and wherever those pins are, they pin it to the back. And you can animate those pins to make it move in whatever fashions you want. So to make these eyeballs move in a way that I kind of want them to, I'm gonna click and pin the bottoms here, and then right in the middle to start. And you can always add more, but it gets more convoluted and more things to animate the more pins you have. I'm gonna click here, and immediately you see that there's this triangle mesh. So I'm gonna click there, here, and here. So that way, if you click and hold, it will morph in certain fashions. I'm going to hit E for effects. You see the puppet tool, you're gonna twirl that down, mesh, and deform. And as you can see, there are already a couple of keyframes created, and that's just the keyframes from when I actually clicked on these. So each one of these is a different layer. So I'm gonna have this right as he finishes blinking, to show where the keyframes are, I can start animating. So from here, I want him to look up this way, he's gonna look down, he's gonna look this way, and then he's gonna look up, and he's gonna come back to center. So what I wanna do is just start animating that. So I'm gonna move forward a little bit, I'm gonna grab this one, hold down Shift, grab that one, and just move them over here. So that way it'll look like he's moving that way. Make that a little quicker. Also, I'm gonna make these all easy ease frames because it makes it seem a little less jarring. Let's take a look at that. Okay, looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a couple blinks in there. So we already have our blink animation. If you hit Shift S, you'll see the scale come down here at the bottom. You can just take these, highlight them, copy, and whenever you want to blink in there, which I usually will do, I mean, it's totally up to you, whenever you feel like a blink is appropriate. And you can obviously adjust these keyframes whenever you want. Cool. Alright, so we got those eyes. So now we're going to do the same thing with the nose. Turn that bad boy on. And so now that we have the eyes, it's just kind of following wherever the eyes are going to be. So it's the same process. You're going to, you've got your puppet tool. So I'm going to make a animation point at the very top, and then at the corners at the bottom, I feel like would be good starting points. I'm also going to bring these up so I can see where everything is animating. And I'm going to hit E, puppet, roll that down, mesh, deform. So animation starts here, Alright, so there's that. Then we can add in the actual head. Hit the eyebrows. We're gonna hit kind of the chin area. And that should give me kind of the look I'm going for. So if I just take both of these, it should follow kind of how I want it. So we're just gonna, once again, follow the eyes. Now I'm gonna also ease these, smooth it out. So there you go. You can refine this as much as you want. Some of the timing I'm not super happy about, but for the sake of this tutorial, it's working out pretty well. The last thing we're gonna do with this guy is animate his mouth. Is a little bit different. I didn't use the puppet tool on this because this is already just a shape layer, and you can just animate that just by using the pen tool and manipulating it that way. Shape, path, and we're going to animate the path. Start here. So click that stopwatch, get things going, move ahead to the first. So we're going to just kind of go ahead and animate all these nodes to what I think they would be. So there we have this animation of him looking around. The last thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to have him roar. So a couple things. When he's roaring, he squints his eyes and he opens his mouth really wide. At the same time, in this example, I put a bulge effect on him so it looks like he's coming right at you a little bit, kind of lunging forward a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. So everything is right there. I am going to place a keyframe right there so that he starts right there. And have him open his mouth real wide. 3. Open his mouth real wide. Rah. Something like that. But this is also running into his jawline, so I'm going to animate the head as well. Take this puppet tool. So now, you can kind of see he's doing a little roar thing. More like just kind of a, looks like he's yawning actually. He's roaring, we're going to have him squint while he's doing this. So I'm going to select the eyes. I want scale. So I'm just going to hit S and hit a keyframe right there, and as he's opening his mouth, we're going to just squint the eyes down. They don't need to be all the way closed, and they're going to be closed the whole time. There he is. So you can play around with these however you want. It's until you kind of fine tune it and get it to the way that you like. And the last thing I'm going to do just for this guy is I'm going to pre-compose everything. So highlight everything, right click, pre-compose. It's just going to put it all into one layer, and then come over here, bulge. drag that on. And what that's gonna do is just, it's gonna magnify the image. And I'm gonna animate that in a way that when he starts to roar, his face gets bigger, like it's coming at you. So I'm gonna expand the horizontal and the vertical radius to fit him. And the bulge height seems a little much. I'm gonna make it a little bit more subtle. So the 0 value in this is just the image by normal. And so I'm gonna bump it up to like, well, I'm gonna find where he starts to roar, right about there. I'm gonna hit a keyframe. Remember to hit your stopwatch, folks. Hit his apex, hit a keyframe. This is supposed to be at 0. And then when he comes back down, we're at 0 again. Something subtle. We'll put some easy ease in there. So it looks like, he's coming at you now. Which actually, I think that it's a subtle little effect, but I think it really kind of gives it a little bit more motion and expression to it. So there you go. That is our looking around lion head.